Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Cancer, our card tonight is the Three of Cups, which has everything to do with abundance. Just things spilling over, right? You can see it in the card here. The flowers are, releasing their nectars and overflowing these beautiful cups that are shaped like pomegranates, actually. I think it's supposed to be like a bunch of pomegranates together. Okay, and let's go ahead. We're going to take a look and see what are these tea leaves going to tell us tonight. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Also, if you want to hit the like button or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. So we have the initials MT, or maybe part of a word, but we have T reiterated more than once here. We also have the M right up here. So MT. Okay, and we have a person here who looks like they're maybe writing. You can see here's the head, here's the body, legs, I guess, down here somewhere. Arm extended up, it looks like they're holding a pen and making some kind of mark. So this could be maybe painting, writing, writing on like a chalkboard or, well, that ages me, right? Do they have chalkboards at school anymore? Probably not. A whiteboard. What else? Yeah. Like painting on the wall, doing a nice fresco, or maybe writing a letter to somebody. But I do feel like there is kind of this connection with you being in a very kind of tactile place right now. Maybe it is that you have begun journaling again, you're writing your memoirs, or gotten back to the desk and you're starting to write the great American novel, or you might be from somewhere else, wherever you're from, the great novel. And I just feel that there's a real connection with the muse, okay? Inspiration. You have a lot that has happened in your life, a lot of different things. Now we have it looks like a crow right here. Now, usually I would say the crow is just an indicator of you being on the right path. And usually that is right. Once in a while, though, we'll think of the crow or the other, I think they're corvids, as kind of a sign of an ending, right? It could be to like the raven, right? Do you remember the poem The Raven? That's where my parents, my mom, she got the name Lenor from Poe, from another poem called Lenore. But Lenor also in The Raven, right? Same character. And the raven, we know, shows up at the door at night, right? Knock, knock, knocking. And it is a symbol of, yes, the archetype of death. Okay, so an end. And I'm seeing this and I feel like, yeah, you've been through some stuff. I think that you've probably seen some endings in the last couple of years. You have maybe, moved, or maybe, your marriage ended, or a relationship ended. It could even be that somebody did transition, or more than one person has transitioned. But I feel like in this kind of the shadow, right, of the event, whatever it was, or events, you are past it. Now, maybe not over it, but it has ended, right? You have moved on to some degree. And now I feel like you are in this place where you can maybe kind of look back and begin to make something, right? Use the technique of sublimation to start to process some of the stuff that you went through. And I think that you really do. There is a calling for you. It really does. It feels like it's something, not like I wish I could do this, or maybe I'll write about it, or, start a blog or whatever it is. No, this is a feeling of like, I have to express myself or I won't be able to deal with it anymore. It's going to come out of me one way or another. So we might as well use kind of the concept of sublimation, right? And we've talked about this a lot on the channel, but what is sublimation? Sublimation is when we use parts of our experience, parts of our desires, our interests, our, inclinations, and we put them into a creative or productive process, right? Creating something. Starting a business or whatever it is. Now, this could be, excuse me, this could be something that I always try to be careful about this because it's not just anything that inspires us, right? These are things that are often looked at as being taboo or difficult to look at. Our desires, maybe they are things that are not super socially acceptable, right? I always like to use kind of the example of violence, right? I think it's fair to say that almost anybody who is a human being, who is alive and breathing, you have had a moment at least in your life where you could have easily gone to violence, right? Or you have these impulses or thoughts or whatever, right? And it could just be like, I want to kick the door or whatever, I'll tell you what, I get out some of my frustrations by going and breaking down boxes, right? I know, I'm terrible. I will let the Amazon boxes kind of sit in the corner for a few weeks, and then there's a few of them out there, and I think, I have to go out and do it, and I save it. I save it for a moment when I'm feeling like, I want to scream. I want to go, just completely mad, right? So I go out there and I break down boxes. Okay, so when you are thinking about sublimation, we're thinking about what could that be? What kinds of things can we talk about? Death, right? Violence. That's a big one. And here the example is music, right? All kinds of music. I don't know. I grew up listening to a lot of rock and roll and a lot of, metal and industrial music and rap and hip hop and stuff. And I'll tell you, a lot of these artists code or completely just overtly create art it's on the topic of violence, right? And I know I've said that word so many times. The algorithm is not going to like this video. But here's the thing. Is that you're putting it into something that you are creating. You are manifesting it out and purging it. Manifesting it out into the aether. Okay? We can think of paintings like this. Not every painting is, some beautiful, Georgia O'Keeffe, flower or desert scene. Even some of her work is quite dark. If you look at her later periods of work, a lot of skulls and things found out in the desert, animals and things. So here, I do feel like, yeah, whatever it is that you had been going through, there is a real desire to put it into something. Something that, I don't even know that it's you want to be proud of it, but I feel it's like, it's like when you're very pregnant, right? If you had the experience of being pregnant or not, you can kind of understand this. You get to a point where, yeah, you're scared to have a kid. You're scared to go through the process of, actually physically having the child, however that comes to be. But once you get to that point where you're just so pregnant, so full, it's like, I just want to have this baby now, right? It's time. Well, I feel like these things that we carry around with us, they get to a point where they need to be expressed, or they will be shoved down and they will turn into a volcano. They will turn into a monster. They will turn into something that is going to get out of you one way or another, right? And not in a way that, well, anyways, usually not in a way that you want it to, right? We see this a lot. People have gone through a lot of things. They've lost people. They've, maybe lost their job. They're in poverty. There's nobody to help. And what happens? People turn to things that can be really harmful. They can do things that could absolutely ruin their lives and other people's lives. And it's not just, I'm not just saying it's people in poverty, right? I myself have been in poverty and have not hurt other people, right? But, the point is, in desperation, in these desperate moments, when we have all this stuff turning around in us, it will find a way to get out, and it makes the situation worse. So, I see you being that amazing, creative, innovative being that you are, Cancer. And I see you really, putting it to paper or, creating something with whatever has been going on. And I see you really devoted to that path of creativity. I really do. Now we have 3 and 2 up here. 3 and 2. We have a cat. Trying to see what is going on here. It looks like 2 people fighting over a child. We have one here. We have the child in the middle, and then we have another person here pulling on the child. So it kind of seems like a bit of, well, it could be custody problems, parental alienation. It could be that, you haven't seen the kids or the grandkids, or maybe you've had to withhold the children, right? Or the grandkids. But I do feel like this is something that weighs heavily on you. Cancer people, and you know this about yourselves, I'm sure, it's hard sometimes to connect with you all because you're very kind of guarded in certain ways, and that's different for each person. But it can be kind of well, it is. It's a process to kind of get through that outer shell and get into those most sacred spaces with a Cancer, to really get in and commune and get into unity and become a family and, you know, a best friend or you know, a beloved. But once you do, once you can kind of really get into that Cancer fortress, we find out that the Cancer has undying loyalty. You are all about your family, your people, your chosen group or unit or whatever you want to call it. And so to see that there is problems around the family dynamic, or I don't even know, maybe it's like you took in like your grandchild, and you know, maybe it's your own child and their spouse or their, you know, whoever they had a kid with, can't take care of the grandchild, but they've come back and they want to take the grandchild, you know, and there's like this custody battle going on, or, you know, something where it's really difficult, but, you know, you will not be dissuaded from having things as they should be, so that everybody is happy, healthy, and safe. And I think that's your number one priority. Now, I want to take a look over here. We have our, what is it called? Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And I'm going to pick 3 of them, okay? We're going to pick 3, and we're just going to kind of see what's going on here with this kind of family dynamic. What is happening that that there is this kind of fighting going on? Okay, so we have bluff, flirtation, and secrets. I'm gonna pick 3 more because I want some more insights here. Optimism, affair, okay. Extremism. Okay. So, yeah, this doesn't seem like a pleasant situation at all. We have, yeah, obviously lies. Okay, bluff, lies. I'm guessing some cheating going on. We have the affair card. We have the flirtation. Now, is it full on, you know, the classical thought of what cheating is? I don't know. It could be emotional. It could be financial. It could be all the things, you know. But I think that you put in a lot of effort to be understanding, to work things out, to try to figure out how can we keep this like family unit going. Can we all just be on good terms? You know, we don't have to stay together or, you know, be very close, but we have a kid together or kids together. Or it could be that, you know, like I said, maybe this is like you're raising your grandkids or something. And all of these things kind of transpiring with the parents, constant fighting and, you know, just not a stable environment. And it leads to, right, the kids not being able to kind of be in a household with their mom and dad. Or, you know, mom and mom or dad and dad or whatever, right? Whatever that dynamic is. But I do feel like your choices, the way that you've had to handle this, is the way that it's had to be. Because, and this is the card that I don't like seeing the most, is, yeah, we have somebody who is really, I mean, out of control with their emotions, with their beliefs, with their, the way that they treat people. And yeah, it's my belief that, you know, this has created an environment where these children can't be around this person. And you know that. And you'll do what you have to do, right? And you might be listening to this and thinking, well, you know, I'm 75 years old. I don't want to raise any kids, right? So maybe this is an old thing, right? I know some of you that tune in. I'm like, how do I say? You know, watch the videos, watch the readings. Excuse me. Are post-child raising, you know, part of your life. And so this might be an old thing, but I do think that at the end of the day, what it really does show to me is that there is an unlimited amount of love and devotion that you have. Absolutely. All right, so I want to take a look over here. We have a person riding a horse. Now, we also have a trail, okay? So I do see that you're going to be traveling pretty soon. I think in the next 3 months, okay? I do see you... I see you, well, yeah, I'm confused by this. Okay, so we have a person up here who has like a dagger, but we also have a person down here who is the best friend, or like the dog. It represents the best friend. We have the heart. I almost wonder if you're in love with your best friend. I almost wonder if this is you're like finding this out. Now, the person with the dagger, though, I feel like this is that old energy. I feel like whatever situation you had been in, marriage, long-term relationship, whatever, the person, and I see the name Joe, Joe, the person really did a number on you. I feel like they really, quite intentionally tried to destroy your self-confidence. And I think through the process of you kind of departing from that relationship, having a good friend who is really there for you and close with you, you maybe fell in love. Maybe you were always in love. But I do think that this is something that is coming to kind of the front of your mind. Okay? So that's interesting. And I'm not sad for you. I think that's a wonderful thing. Now, I want to we're going to do 3 lucky numbers. Now, I have this big old die. It has 100 sides to it. So we're going to do 3, and I'm just going to roll this. Oh, you're going to go far, far, far. Okay, so we have the number 43. 43. What is it? I think it's 99. Or is it 72? 40, we'll do 43, 72, 99. 43, 72, 99, and we'll do one more just to... All right, and so the last one, 100. We got 99 and 100. All right. So 43, 72, 99, and 100. You can pick. Do you want 99 or 100? All right, let's also do our, and I'm trying to figure out how to do the flow of this of the readings, because now I'm doing tea leaves, we're doing oracle cards, we're doing lucky numbers, and we end with our affirmation cards. So I'm gonna tinker with the flow of things just to see how we can get this kind of worked out, going a little more smoothly. All right, so I'm going to stop where it feels right. And it says, I accept and love myself unconditionally. I accept and love myself unconditionally. Absolutely. I like the affirmation cards to like kind of end on. All right. So, Cancer, I want to tell you I love you and I thank you for spending this time with me. If you want to like, comment, subscribe. I was like, what's the other one? Like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear from you. It is free to subscribe. If you're new to the channel, definitely shout it out in the comment section. Other than that, I just want to tell you again, I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk real soon. Good night. Good night. Good night.